Hi Gaurav sir, how are you doing?
Hi, Sasha. I'm good. I hope you're well too.
I'm doing great, sir. Thank you for coming as a guest to our podcast. The initiative of Bengaluru Dreamin, TTT, TDX Trailblazer Talks. Uh, it's an honor to have you. Just to give you some caveat, I'm just giving prompt to ChatGPT. Hey, ChatGPT, this is the context of this podcast. Give me some questions, and here is my guest, Gaurav Kheterpal. The response I got is, congratulations, Sesha, you are doing a podcast with a Salesforce legend. So even ChatGPT believes you are a legend, and it's an absolute honor for me.
It's very kind of you. And as far as whatever ChatGPT says, I'll say that's a hallucination. But yeah, thank you for having me.
So want to understand how is OneShift doing? It's been over 2 years, and we are seeing humongous amount of conversations and LinkedIn posts on OneShift and its updates and its partnerships, the new team members coming in, and I'm sure the customers are the ones who are happiest. I've heard from your partners and customers being in Bangalore that we are associated with OneShift. So for being a 2+ year startup, you have done a lot. Would love to understand how is it going and where you are going towards, and yeah, over to you.
Absolutely. So our journey started in January 2023. So it's been slightly more than 2 years, so 2 years and 3 months. And it's been a good journey. I think we started off with a really small team. Now, including some contractors, we've just crossed 100, which is always a big milestone for a company. Um, we have our struggles, we have our opportunities. That's how I always put it. Like every startup goes through a lot of struggles, which people on the outside don't see. But yeah, to run a startup on a daily basis, like there are a lot of things that go into it. But it's worthwhile. I mean, it's worth the journey. Like when we see, like we've been able to create like so many jobs in Jaipur, we have so many customers who are happy and who want to work with us and do more. And then again, I think from a culture perspective, like one of the things we focused on was learning and just to see our team kind of make the most out of those opportunities. Those are like real positives of the journey and which make all the struggle, all the hard work worth it. So
Thank you, sir. I know maybe it's too early to ask, but where you are leading to in next 1 2 years or probably 3 years with this AI revolution coming in?
yeah, so I think everybody is trying to kind of figure out because like we are going through like a paradigm shift. It happens every few years in the technology industry, and I've been in the industry for about 25 years. So I've seen a few. Like it was the Y2K era, and then came the dot-com burst, and then there was waves like of IoT, blockchain, but we have never really seen anything like what we are going through right now with generative AI. So I think that shift is real. That will definitely change the way software development works, consulting industry works. We are trying our best, like to prepare our team to for this futuristic approach. And then the plan, at least for the organization, is we'll continue to grow. As I said, a big focus and the big reason why I chose this path was I wanted to create jobs in Jaipur. Like again, in the past organizations also where I've worked, like that's been the focus. Like Jaipur is a tier two city, and then the ecosystem that we have built here is beautiful and it's still expanding. And I'm hoping that OneShift will also continue to contribute to that ecosystem, create more jobs, um, help in organizing more events, also build like an ecosystem of learning and people growing their careers within the city as well.
That's awesome, Gaurav sir. I mean, it's an impact and purpose-driven startup. It's not only for the sake of money making or anything else. It sounds very good to us, and thank you for always inspiring this community. As you said, you've been in this community probably around 2 decades.
It's a two-way street. I think I always say this, like Salesforce has been very kind to me, and I think it's kind of my responsibility to reciprocate that gesture. So, and I'm happy it's worked out.
Absolutely. I mean, recently I'm reading this LinkedIn post how Jaipur has become the capital of Salesforce in India, and there are few pillars which contributed to it, and I'm sure you are one of the topmost pillar. And happy to see a tier two city like Jaipur is getting this kind of very big recognition. And if possible, do have your branches in other cities also, so that other ecosystem can also nourish.
Oh, absolutely. That is a part of the plan. Like we tried something in Hyderabad. One of our customers wanted us to kind of set up a team there, but eventually that team did not scale as much as we thought. But that was the plan to start in Hyderabad and then. But I'm pretty sure like within this year we'll have one more office outside of Jaipur. It's just a question of like where and when. We are still trying to figure that out, but yeah, hopefully this year it will.
Maybe a conversation outside this podcast, sir. If it is in Bangalore, do let me know. 100%, 200% support for setting up the office and all.
Bangalore, I think the two major problems is the cost and then the traffic. That's which always scare me. But otherwise, I think Bangalore is definitely the place to be from weather, from just the I think the environment that's there for startups and also like Salesforce also has like a really mature community there. So
Yep. Hopefully the Salesforce Tower and Vanchiv office comes together. There are people who are still looking for some support and some understanding of hackathon. And you being the person who has the experience of hackathon in TDX San Francisco, I would like to understand your experience in the TDX San Francisco.
I'm happy to share that, but I just want to kind of set the context. I did not win the hackathon, at least not the big prize, but again, Salesforce was kind enough to give me a small prize because somewhere I kind of ended up on the wrong side of rules, but that's all right. But regardless, I think I would say it's a once in a lifetime kind of an experience. I've participated in other Salesforce hackathons as well. Like there was a very famous Dreamforce $1 million hackathon, which I participated in even before that. And the early part of my career, I had some really good success. Like we built an application called Note Price, which actually won a really good prize from Salesforce. And then another one was like, this was way back, like 2010, 2011, which was like almost 14 years back. I think you were probably in school at that time. But I think TDX Hackathon specifically, I would say it's a very special experience. And like Salesforce did everything right in San Francisco to give everybody who's attending like an experience which they'll remember. So the whole arena is set up in the way that you get a vibe like I need to be a part of it. There is music, there is food, there are a lot of people to help you. And I think that was the best part that no matter if it's a problem that you're facing with your or let's say you wanted to do something in data cloud, which you have never done before, and you wanted to ask somebody, how do I do that? There are experts for like a lot of things there as well. Um, that's the best part. And then I think just the way that arena is set up, obviously the prizes are a big motivation as well. Interact with a lot of people. Like I remember at TDX US Hackathon, Christoph was there. Kiran obviously was there. I met like the dev advocates like Mohit, who was helping people out. And then several like product managers from Data Cloud team, Agent Force team, not just the product owners,
Hmm.
but a lot of others as well, and a lot of CTAs as well, like helping people out. So yeah, I mean it's a really I would say collaborative environment. There is a competitive spirit to it as well, but like people asked me a few questions, I was able to help a couple of them, and then it's like also bouncing off ideas. Okay, this is what we are doing. Do you think it's a good idea? Or obviously it's competitive, but at the same time it's very collaborative.
Can you help us understand the team formation? How you chose John? Probably you have many options, right? Many of your friends are attending TDX and probably to hackathon as well.
For me and John, it was slightly different. Like again, as I said, he had some ideas. I told him, okay, this part I can do, this part maybe you can do, and that's how we kind of went with it because I wasn't sure if I'll have the time to go through the full hackathon. But ideally, like when you are forming a team, easiest choice people look at is like these are my friends, I'll go with them. That might work, but I think the best way, if you think about it strategically, is like people with complementary skill sets. Like if there is a person who's and you want to build a use case around that, like there's a person who's really strong in agent force, plus you need to include, you want to build something in data cloud, so maybe somebody who understands data cloud, one person who probably is good at like maybe use cases, user stories, visualizations, mockups, I think that will definitely help. And it really depends. If you want to do integrations, like we built an integration with Google Places API as well as Google Questions. So I think that having that knowledge, John has like phenomenal knowledge of that. I've done enough on Agent Force, a little bit on Data Cloud as well. So that definitely helped. But yeah, choose complementary skill sets because again, I think if you have five people in the team and all five just know one thing, which is the same thing, then you're not maximizing your chances.
That's a good advice, Gaurav sir. So, what made you to choose a use case? I have seen that video, what you have posted, a 5-minute video of your presentation. Basically, it's a Google review response by agent to put it in a one liner. So, what made you to choose that use case? Probably you would have bounced with, if not tens, at least a few use cases. So,
A lot of people, and again, no disrespect to anybody, a lot of the entries that I saw were like Agent Force being used as a bot, which is like not the best use of capability of an AI agent. Like a bot was there, it was like there with Einstein as well in the predictive era as well. But now, like with generative AI, the real power of agent force in any AI agent is when you can actually generate responses which a predictive agent could not do. So with Google, I think the idea was that it's a massive industry, like it's completely unregulated in the sense how reviews are handled. A lot of it is manual, which is like a massive effort. So the idea was if you can build an agent and if you can fine tune that agent to kind of tackle these, and then the volume is very big. Like these are like thousands of reviews coming in on a daily basis. So if you can actually, and we have actually received a lot of interest. Like a lot of people have told us you should productize this idea. Salesforce admins, LinkedIn page also kind of posted about it a couple of days back. That was a very pleasant surprise. I received a lot of good feedback, even from people like Srini, who's the chief engineering officer and the president at Salesforce. He really loved the use case. So for us, it was like we want to do something which is beyond Salesforce. Like um, our submission was like a integration with Google Places, Google Questions. So I think that was one of the things. And then we kind of wanted to build something more around an enterprise architecture, not just within Salesforce. So in that sense, I think that use case was really good. And again, I don't know if we are getting a lot of motivation and encouragement to kind of build on it and productize it. But with everything else going on at OneShift, I don't know if we'll be able to do it. But the thought process is that pick an idea which is not just limited to that hackathon, but it's something that if it has potential, maybe you can actually go the full distance and productize it as well.
yeah, sounds interesting, Gaurav. So probably in few quarters or few months down the line, I may see few of your agent exchange applications listing. Uh, yeah, and honestly, as a person who saw that use case, we were completely bowled. It was like, wow, you created that wow factor, and as you rightly said, your thought has gone beyond Salesforce ecosystem, and did something which is actually a pain, actually a huge problem in the ecosystem and very unregulated as well. Thank you. I recommend all the hackathon teams who are participating think in these aspects and get your use case ready. What are the biggest challenges you faced during this hackathon? I know it's the biggest challenge could be tiresome because it's a 30-hour hackathon. But beyond that, any technical challenges, infrastructure-based challenges, or team-based challenges, anything you have faced?
I think the biggest challenge is like time. You are up against a clock, and then that clock is continuously ticking. And I think first is you quickly need to finalize, and the biggest challenge is you need to do everything within those stipulated hours. You cannot actually build something because you will be given a fresh org. You cannot lift and shift. You cannot move things from one org and then put it in the new org that you will get. So you can have it in your head. That is probably a good idea, but you cannot actually write any piece of code or do anything until the hackathon actually starts. So that is obviously the biggest challenge. There were some minor technical challenges, as I said, but there were people to help us out. Like for example, we were running into one issue. One of the licenses we needed was not activated, but I think within 10-15 minutes, like we made a request and it was done. So that's the good part. And then I think like the other challenge you may run into is like, again, how do I do this? And then, as I said, there are experts and they're like have a big t-shirt with staff written on them. So they are there to help you out. I'm actually not participating in the Bangalore hackathon because, again, as I said, I've done some work in the past for Salesforce, which uh, but yeah, I'll probably be there just to help out people and encourage people. So I'll definitely do whatever I can in a community capacity. But yeah, I think the biggest challenge I would say is time, and then the second is coordination. Also, like you will not realize how quickly the deadline approaches. So I saw a lot of people who were like shooting their videos till the last minute, which is never a good idea. So I think the way we kind of paced it was we froze our code 90 minutes before the deadline, and then 60 minutes before the deadline we because a video will also take a few retakes, so we started recording the video. While recording the video, we ran into some bugs, so again we had a little bit of margin there, so we kind of used that to fix those bugs. The video was recorded, and I think somewhere around like 20-25 minutes left, we kind of submitted. So it was not like if you do it at the last moment, you will be under a lot of pressure because like you are kind of the time is going on, and then you have things to do. And if a bug comes in at the last moment in production, that always happens, then you are not in a good state. So I think time it well, and I think prepare yourself a little bit earlier than the deadline. Those are two important things.
Wow, this is actually one of the phenomenal tip you have given. Plan your entire day and 30 hours, maybe you keep some of your milestones within that. Keep a dead drop stop time for development and this. And I think we are good with the questions, Gaurav sir. Any parting thoughts before we leave? And also I have a rapid fire after that.
I would say, like as I said, like I think it's about two or three things. Like one is what is the overall idea or the use case? As I said, you could always build a conversational bot, but that's not the real value of Agent Force, and that is exactly the thought process we wanted to stay away from. We did that. I think the use case, personally for me, the more you integrate with external systems, that shows and amplifies the power of Agent Force. So I think that's always a good idea. And then the third is like storytelling. Like how do you narrate your story? I think that is what it comes down to. Like not like I always say, like in a hackathon, not the best technically designed solution wins, but the solution which wins is always like where you narrate the story the best. So I think that's very, very important.
I think two powerful tips you have given. My rapid fire round starts. I have quick 5, 6 questions. If you weren't in tech, okay, not even tech, IT, anything, what would you be doing?
I have a really strong passion for reading the books that you see in the background. Like those are not, that's not a virtual background. I would probably be doing something in the area of literature. Like I'm a ardent reader. I like to write as well. So if it was not in tech, I would probably be doing some writing in some
Awesome.
session.
We never know. You can come with an announcement saying that Gaurav Kheterpal publications. If you could swap jobs with any one for a day, who would it be?
I would love to swap jobs with one of the developers, maybe even in my company, and just focus on coding for a day, not have to deal with all the other things, all the pressures of running a startup.
You are an entrepreneur by profession, but developer by heart. I can definitely see that.
Yeah, I mean, I call myself like as a 47-year-old developer, which is uncommon in India.
Probably you are inspiration to thousands of people. And the people who comes to ecosystem, it is like must and should follow Gaurav Khetrapal LinkedIn page. So who is one inspiration or could be bunch of inspirations to
A
you?
lot of people. I think, as I said, I read a lot. So obviously, like all these legendary figures in the tech industry. Steve Jobs obviously has a big influence. Like I've read pretty much all the books on Steve Jobs, and you'll see a few here as well. The other is like Swami Vivekanand. So I think his philosophy of like simple living, I thinking again, I've read a lot about that, and that is something which I try to practice as well. I actually admire Saina Nehwal a lot, and we had the good fortune of not just seeing her, but listening to her inspirational panel discussion at TDX 2019. So yeah, you never know, like when you run into these personalities, and I think there are some secret celebrities also coming to TDX 2025, which makes it even more exciting. I don't know the details, but yeah, they've like I've been given hints that it's something that people will go mad about. So I'm really looking forward to who we see there.
Wow, you released a bomb with this podcast. I know people will go crazy hearing to it. Thank you so much, Gaurav sir. It's a fantastic podcast, and thank you for being so open in answering in lot of hackathon related questions and OneChew related questions. Looking forward to meeting you very soon in TDX Bengaluru hackathon as well as the conference, and I'm super excited. Thank you so much.
Likewise, Sesha, thank you for having me. It's not too far, so I'll see you at TDX in roughly less than 4 weeks. So
Yes,
excited.
yes, yeah. Bye. Have a good day.
Thank you so much. Yeah.